Hey, welcome to tonight's episode of the 260 Soccer Show powered by Fort Wayne Footy. Huge apologies to everyone out there. We have been working for the last half an hour to try to figure out technical difficulties. For those of you that tuned in to see Matt Rogers, huge apologies for that. We just could not get the technical difficulties worked out. So we're gonna roll with our show minus the Matt Rogers interview. So I apologize for not having him on tonight, but I'm Paul Johnson. I'm joined by Sean Black. Sean, I haven't seen you in a while, buddy. We've seen you on the Fort Wayne Footy Show covering Fort Wayne
hmm
football club. So, how you
Yeah,
doing?
I'm doing well, Paul. I'm really excited to be on the show tonight, even amidst all of the chaos that is this audio situation. But excited to be here, excited to hang out with you and break down some local soccer.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
originally thought, well, are we going to do a show on Memorial Weekend? People might be out of town. We might be out of town. Is the audience
hmm
going to be there? And the technological gods are kind of working against us right now. We had a great guest lined up to close out this middle school season. Um,
hmm
Unfortunately, we're not going to get to the guest, but we can definitely talk about the topics. Did you have any soccer this weekend, Sean, going on?
I did for my club and for my teams. Some ISL games that was a lot of fun, um, but yeah, nothing in terms of, I'm not too keened into what's going on at the middle school game right now, but
All right.
yeah, but I'm sure it's like playoffs and things like that, right? Like
Yeah, we're wrapping
the
up. So
final.
so the
Uh,
theme we had for tonight was let me flash up here. Here's our thumbnail, right? The winner's circle. This is in honor of today was one of sporting's largest events of the year. Like
okay.
400,000 people show up. The Indy 500, of course. So we threw the logos
Yeah.
on top of a race car there. Most of the schools have finished. We do have one that still has the white flag final lap coming out. The NE8, which is kind of bizarre, but for Memorial Weekend, this I was reminded. I grew up in the Chicago area, Park Ridge,
hmm
Illinois, and every year we had a memorial tournament, and every year turf didn't exist back then. Every year it rained, and it was mud
Um,
fest. But this is my shirt from 1991. Look at
oh,
that.
let's
So
go. That is sweet.
it doesn't fit me anymore, um, but it's one of the memories I have of Memorial Weekend and the weather. This weekend rain. This last several weekends and a lot of spring has been rain.
Yeah,
Tell me about your rain situation. Or yours just spring in general, Sean. We haven't seen, bud.
I know. It's been packed every night sessions, every weekend games. Luckily, I've only had a couple rainouts, and luckily they've been local matches, so we could reschedule during the week. And yeah, I mean, there was no choice. We had to schedule games on Memorial Day weekend
Uh,
regardless. So I think I did one Memorial Day because I think Junior Irish has a tournament
they do.
Memorial Day. Yeah, so I did that one year when I was coaching at Sport Club, and that was a lot of fun. Um, had a fun group of boys and had some players that we had to call up because like not everyone can make Memorial Day
Yeah.
tournaments happen. So that was a fun group. I think we ended up getting to a final and playing really well. So, but yeah, just
Excellent.
like there is no, you know, I feel like I'm preaching to the choir because you know just as well as I do, Paul, that the summer is just or the spring is just like locked and loaded, and there is no wiggle room for anything. So
Yeah. And I think actually backstage we've been working on technical tip. Let me see if I can add Brian to the stage here. Brian,
hey,
can you hear us?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Got you.
We all good.
How you
Brian,
doing?
that is yeah, Brian, that is velvety smooth.
Well, I'm glad somebody can hear something tonight. Yeah, this was not in my plan tonight, but we're here and I'm just looking at our rundown and seeing where I can contribute
Cool. I mean,
because you can hear me and I can hear you and we're good to go.
yeah, yeah. Yeah. Moving on to the rundown, we got a lot of local soccer news. I know we're going to cover some middle school stuff, and that's where our guest, Matt. Rogers was going to give us some insights specifically from the Woodside Middle School girls. We're gonna have to not do that interview tonight. We'll have them back in the future, but we do have middle school scores to announce, and there's a lot of other soccer news and topics going on. It might be a shorter show, but let's get through it. I want to jump to Fort Wayne Football Club. We had a couple of games this past week, and our coverage is not specifically about that team, but there's a lot of local soccer tied in to that team. And Sean, Fort Wayne United, we had several teams for special, kind of showcased various times throughout these Fort Wayne Football Club games. Can you tell us what United's kind of interaction was this past week when we had Corpus Christi on Wednesday?
Yeah, so this was close to home because it was my U11 boys that were able to be recognized during the game, set up by one of our team moms who really worked hard to get them to do a walkout, which was really cool. I think the boys had a really good time. And then also it looked like our what we call select, or kind of like another league that's run by the Plex, also had their kiddos at the match, which was awesome. So just like two different programs, like all under the same umbrella. But and then Marina Lima was presented with hero of the match, and she does awesome in terms of scheduling out all the facility uses for all the programs at Fort Wayne United. So she got a big job, and she's done very well. I think this is her first year this year. And she's just done a great job. So cool to see Fort Wayne United represented this week at FWFC.
Yeah. I saw tons of the players. They're giving out pamphlets. I saw a lot of the parents. Some parents I've known from the past. Some parents, haven't seen for a while. But so it's really cool. I love it because we need to get that youth community and everyone involved.
Yeah.
As part of these games. Brian, do you recall? Yeah, you were at the game. I saw you.
Yeah, I was. It was fun talking to a couple of the parents, the United parents that were there, and Nick Bernard specifically. I got a chance to chat with him. He's a big fan of the Fort Wayne Footy show, and was telling me actually, he was pointing people out that he saw walking in. He and I think there was another guy wearing a Fort Wayne. He might not have been wearing Fort Wayne Footy, but there was another couple gentlemen wearing Fort Wayne Footy shirts, and so he was pointing out guys that had asked them about their sweatshirt, and he goes, "I sent him your show tonight." So, so it was fun. I know he's a big fan, but seeing his boy out there, and I know his older son Sam from other teams and other coaching opportunities I've had. So yeah, just fun seeing all the parents and the players out there. It was a ton of fun.
Cool. Yeah, I enjoyed it. It was a thrilling game. Didn't quite end quite our way, but we'll cover that tomorrow, right? There might be another show in town.
Thrilling? Did you just say thrilling game?
Almost thrilling.
Almost. It was nowhere near thrilling. So listen to tomorrow. Listen to tomorrow night's show. We'll talk all about that not so almost thrilling game.
Almost
on
thrilling
Wednesday night.
Yeah, man, I was out of my seat and it didn't pan out. But anyway, back to that game at halftime. So we talked about United had some great representation there at the community corner and all the players. Tolles Middle School, the boys had a great season. And what all these games have is like a team of the match. And the Tolles Middle School boys walked out and were recognized. So congratulations to them on their season and for being recognized at the game. So that's really cool. Another thing, how
they said it was their most, like, their winningest season ever in school history. Yeah. So that was pretty cool.
Nice.
I mean, the semifinals, I think, or sorry, the finals, I believe in the middle school game. Yeah,
pretty nice.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Moving on to local shout outs. We have a bit of Amanda could not join us tonight due to technical difficulties, but we're going to try to get her involved in just a second.
Play under review.
My play under review is last week we had some shout outs to we try to give shout outs to anyone who is signing for their college commitment, not just commitment, but actually putting pen to paper on their college contract there. And Abe Hall, I apologize. He was on my list, but didn't make it on the rundown. So Abe Hall, congratulations to you. I know Anthony Anzini reminded us mid-show, but I wanted to give him a proper congratulations. He's going to be going to Trine University in Angola. He played at Bishop Luers High School
Careful,
under
careful,
coach-
Paul.
do I need to play the video again under review?
Next week.
Can I jump in for Abe?
Yes, please.
I coached Abe at U11 and U12 for 2 years. And just like the most coachable player, like worked his tail off. And you can tell I've been doing this for so long. You can tell the players that like go on to play college ball because they really just like are passionate and they love it, and that's what carries them through like all of the work that it takes. So just shout out to Abe. Like, and I saw him like I don't know, because I took a little hiatus to Indy, so I saw him when I came back to Fort Wayne, and he's like a junior or senior in high school, and he sees me and lights up and daps me up, and like that's why we coach. That's why we coach, for those relationships and to help young people on their life journey. So
Great family.
yeah, great family, and special shout out to Abe.
Yeah, awesome. And then we have one more signing that occurred this week. Julia Cobb from Concordia High School. She signed with Concordia Chicago. Familiar to the show, she played for Micah, because Micah Mittendorf coaches the girls at Concordia, and for Todd Gilpin at Fort Wayne Sport Club. So big congratulations to Julia and to Abe Hall on their future soccer careers. Moving on to the amateur level, 1927 SC men's. They play in the Midwest Premier League. They're an amateur team, but Brian, do you have some updates for us on that? Perhaps they played yesterday.
Yeah, they lost a heartbreaker to Goshen, 2-1 up there on the Goshen home field. It looks like Dilesh Patel. They were down 1-0, scored in the 60th minute, and then go-ahead goal, like I said, heartbreaker by Goshen in the 87th minute, which is a killer, man. That's the dagger that one just hurts. And Goshen, I'll tell you what, I don't know much about them in the Midwest Premier League. I just know they have they've grown. Their soccer community has grown. They've been tough to play and tough to beat for any of our clubs here in Fort Wayne. And it sounds like they're becoming 1927's nemesis in that Midwest Premier League. So it's fun to see. Fort Wayne FC doesn't have a close rival. Indy 11 is not even in our division. We played them recently. So it's good to see 1927 in this more local regional league have some really close rivals that either will come to town or we can travel to a place like Goshen in an hour or so and see some of these games as they continue to build.
Totally agree. Right. They knocked us out, I think, last year from the Amateur Cup. They have knocked us out this year from an Amateur Cup, and I believe maybe last year from the Amateur Cup, and now in the league play. So it's great to have that local rivalry. We played Lansing last week to a 1-1 draw, and then we had a win 3-0 a couple weeks prior. So yeah, it's a good league. I mean, like, all these teams are pretty local, within a couple hours of each other. So it's great, even if it's a loss. It's a close game and competitive match with someone.
And that's what you want to see, right?
Yeah.
You don't want to see lopsided games. That's not fun for anybody. But you always want to be on the other side of these tight games. You're scoring in the 87th or the 91st minute. That's the side of things you want to be on. But a good match that's what's going to draw a crowd. That's what's going to get people involved.
Yeah. And kind of sticking with that theme on the amateur side, the Tournament of Champions is occurring at Sport Club next weekend, the 30th and 31st. That's an amateur tournament. I believe several teams can enter it, but it also serves as the Region 2 championship. And if you win that, then you go on to the Amateur Cup Nationals. And I believe that eventually might get you to that US Cup? US is Open Cup, right? That would occur early next year, which is, you could ultimately play against some very high level teams if you advance. It's kind of like our FA Cup, if you will.
Yeah. And that tournament, the Region 2 championship, is 2 teams out of Chicago actually coming down to play.
Cool.
in that one. Was alerted to that by a guy that I met at a Fort Wayne FC game that lives in Chicago, just happened to be down for a game. And so we've been texting back and forth. So 2 teams out of Chicago coming down to Fort Wayne for that Region 2 championship in the Amateur Cup.
Nice. Cool. Switching to a different cup, Indiana has a set of cups that's taking place, either the State Cup, Challenge Cup, President's Cup. This weekend they actually have off, but last weekend they had their kind of group play, round robin play, and then next week, if they did well last weekend, they're going to play in their either semifinals, or quarterfinals, or finals, depending on how big their brackets were. So, Sean, can you give us a bit of a rundown? I know there's a lot of teams in here. We'd love to give them shout outs. It's a big combination of Sport Club, United teams, and we have a Rangers team in there. Can you give us a quick summary of what happened, where next weekend's looking?
Okay, yeah. So I'll give a run. Let's see here, because there are a lot of teams here, so I don't want to miss anybody. Okay, so girls finals. It looks like we've got Sport Club 17U Dresden and Sport Club 16U Dortmund in the girls finals for those age groups. Girls in the semifinals, we've got Sport Club 19U Potsdam. Oh man, my German is slacking tonight, guys. Okay. We also have United 2010 Girls National League and United 2012 Girls National League. So congrats to all the girls teams there. Girls in the quarterfinals, we've got Sport Club 12U Mains, which I believe that's our own Anthony Anzini. So congrats to them. And then the United 2014 girls as well. For boys semifinals, we've got Sport Club 13U Berlin and 15U Mönchengladbach. Okay, and 14.
There you go.
Bochum. That was not bad. That's not bad. That brings me back to my Osnabrück.
There you go.
In those days, I did select that name, BT Dubs. That's a fun side story for another day. 14U Bochum, 16U Bayern versus Fort Wayne United's 2010 academy team. So seems like we got a little rivalry matchup there in the semifinal. That would be super fun. And then 16U Bielefeld. For United side, their 07, their 08s, their 09 Academy Advanced, their 2010 National League is in, their 2010 Boys Academy is in, their 2012 National League is in, the 2013 Boys National League, 2009 Boys National League, and then the 07s and 08s National League are also in. And then special shout out to Rangers Academy, 14U Boys DA Blue are in, which is awesome. And then looks like boys quarterfinals, FWSC Frankfurt. So I don't think I missed anyone.
Yeah.
And
Fort Wayne representation there, right? I think Todd had a stat last week, something like 40% of the teams that were in the tournament, I think, are advancing one way or another. So like this is across, I think, Challenge Cup, President's Cup, State Cup.
Yeah.
Which is awesome, and it's great. Good representation from the two bigger clubs of Sport Club and United, and it's awesome to see Rangers in there as well. It's a smaller club, but they are getting some representation. So best of luck to them next week. I know, Brian, you've had some experience the last couple. We've talked about the last couple of weekends. I'm not sure if you were involved directly with that, but it's
I mean,
sometimes it's the end, right?
We were down there, and it was unfortunate that our team didn't advance. It was the first time in 3 or 4 years we didn't advance to semifinals. But it was the same team that put us out as they did the other years. That they just happened to do it in the semifinals, and they did it with a draw this time, or a 2-1 loss, I believe it was this time. And so, it was tough, but it was fun just seeing all the teams down there, getting a chance to interact with coaches and players that you only see once or twice a season, that they all come together for these big tournaments at Grand Park, State Cup and Challenge Cup, President's Cup, and all that. So it was just fun, catching up with people and seeing how their teams were doing, how their players were doing, and how they are doing, coaching in different places now. So a lot of fun down there, and good luck to everybody that's advancing. I'll kick back and relax a little bit and know I don't have to travel to Indy in another week.
Here you go. Yeah, it's older boys team. So some of them, it's getting closer to sort of their youth careers as well.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So one of our topics last week, we talked about the landscape, these soccernyms, all the different like logos, and how do you make sense of it. We talked about club be club, team be team, what that means, what it doesn't mean, pros and cons and stuff. One of the things is I know a lot of our hosts have been more on of the sport club variety, and that's not intentional or whatever. But I'm excited to have Sean on today. Sean coaches at Fort Wayne United, and one of our
Mhm.
questions last week was the MLS Next is coming to town for the Academy Division, and we have this NL1 that's forming, or N1L, that's sort of a combination of the National League from USYS and the was it the NPL on the club side. So we're going to transition to our keys to the game, which is going to be our sponsor segment, and Sean hopefully can fill us in a little bit what's going on the north side of town.
Keys to the game.
All right, so our keys to the game segment is sponsored by Michelle Snyder of the Northeastern Group Realty. With 22 years of experience and a heart for helping, Michelle's got your real estate needs covered from kickoff to closing. Call or text her at 260-615-6289. So Sean, you are in charge of the younger travel side of things at United, and maybe multiple teams.
Yeah.
MLS Next, we've heard this tossed around. How does that affect or not affect the teams that you're coaching? I know maybe it affects more of like if you have multiple teams, the top teams at the club, but what are like the second tier teams doing? And from an ISL level, how's that all going to work this coming year from a United perspective, league wise?
Yeah, so the MLS Next is really only impacting U13 and above, so U13 and 19. So they'll compete in the MLS Next Academy league / division. Those divisions haven't been ironed out yet, as they're still sorting through all of their accepted teams, and I think they're in the process of creating divisions. And then our second groups will compete in the NAL, which again is like another National League platform, probably like a third division National League platform, but still an opportunity for our kids to, get in front of some college coaches and give them a national platform to play on. So that's what's going on the boys side. And the girls side got accepted in the GA Aspire.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that'll also impact their U11s and U12s, and they'll play in like a pre-GA Aspire league. For our girls side. So definitely step up in competition, and it's all about having the kids ready and prepared for those kind of higher level environments.
Is all that still on the club side, or if you're in strictly ISL, that's team v team, right? You get the promotion relegation on the ISL side for the younger kids, but once you get into the Aspire and the MLS Next Academy side, that's still the club v club format.
Yeah, club v club format. So for example, for our listeners, it might be okay. On this Saturday, we're playing Indy Premier, and our U13s all the way through our U19s are all playing Indy Premier on that day. So I really like it because coaches can get together and kind of hang out and support one another, and as opposed to like, I'm in South Bend this weekend or on Saturday, and okay, I'm in Indianapolis on Saturday. It's nice to kind of all be together and just kind of feel like a united club feel,
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have a sense for what's going on with the NL1 or one NL and 1L stuff and that merger and how that affects? Because I know you had the CP, was it called CP1, which was the National League Premier One, that was Club v Club, that used to be E64, and I honestly still don't 100% understand how people are going to maybe translate or not translate into this N1L.
Yeah. I'm not sure about NL1 or N1L, or if we'll have teams competing in that. I just know for our boys side, we'll be in the MLS Next Academy division, then our second teams will compete in the NAL.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Brian, any thoughts on? I know, like,
Yeah.
There's so many leagues going on, right? I think this
Brian.
consolidation in general is a good thing, right?
Brian, you are ready to hop back into the club coaching environment, and you are ready to help out these kids and navigate this landscape.
I am glad we're almost done through it, because it is all super confusing. And I know that we've got a great team here who's going to keep up with it, right, Paul? No, it is confusing. There's a lot of talk right now of what's happening in youth sports in general, but specifically youth soccer in the United States, and consolidation, extra leagues. Like, it's all really confusing. And I know you guys talked all about this last week, and I don't need to get on a soapbox now about it, but I do think things need to change. Something needs to happen because parents are like, I don't know what I'm getting my kid into. This club says this, and this club says this, and they're like, and this other club says this, and this league says, you know what I mean? Like, there's just a lot happening. And so I'll stop talking with that, because again, I don't want to add confusion to the mix. I love what we have going here in Fort Wayne. With our clubs, with the different leagues we're in. At some point, we've got to get our arms around it and say, what is happening? What is the direction we're taking this? Because every league seems to want to take it a different direction.
Yeah.
Sounds like Brian Biedenbach is happening, and we need to get him a whistle.
I mean, we don't need to go too deep into it, but here's the thing. Like, I want this program, 260 Soccer Show, I want Fort Wayne Footy to be part of whatever it is. And so I joke about, my kid's almost done, I don't need to worry about it. But I do think that we are in a key position to be able to bring voices together, to be able to bring influence together, and to be able to bring coaches, clubs, players, parents to the table to accomplish something. And if Fort Wayne Footy does nothing else, if we can be part of that conversation, like, I'm excited to be part of that conversation. So yeah, I'm not stepping in with a jersey and a whistle, but I think positioning our team in a place where we can be part of that and help lead the way in that here locally and maybe statewide. I don't know. We'll see where it goes. I'm happy to be part of it.
Well, even Fort Wayne Football Club has said eventually want to be part of some sort of academy. Like, what does that look like? Can we support a third club in town? I don't think so. It's just you'd be spreading everyone too thin. Do we need to have one big club in town? I don't think that's healthy either. But what would an academy level look like? I know within the 11 they have an academy team, but there's a regular MLS Next and other leagues there, but the academy level is more of a USL 2 type thing where they play seasonally. They pull up more of the senior level players, which would help maybe consolidate some of the top players in the region for a shorter season. But right, you throw that in the mix. Who knows what the Portland Football Club is going to inject into the area? Hopefully for the best.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. With that, I know we don't have our guest tonight, and I apologize for those of you. Apologize at the top of the show with Matt Rogers. We do have a lot of middle school to announce. Let's do a quick read from our buddy Brian that's been pre-recorded, and then we'll get back to it.
The 260 Soccer Show is powered by Fort Wayne Footy, where Fort Wayne's soccer conversation lives. If you're enjoying the show, we've got one simple way you can help us keep this going, and that's to join the Footy Faithful over on Patreon at Fort Wayne Footy. Your support directly fuels everything that we do, from this show, the 260 Soccer Show, to Fort Wayne Footy on Monday nights, helping us bring you better stories, deeper coverage, and shining more of a spotlight on the players, coaches, clubs, and communities that make soccer thrive right here in Fort Wayne. We've got membership options for everyone, including a free option if you just want to check things out. Every dollar helps us celebrate the game and elevate the conversation around soccer at every level in our city. So if you believe in what we're doing, join the Footy Faithful today on Patreon at Fort Wayne Footy.
All right, welcome back. Thanks, Brian. So we'll get into middle school soccer. We got a lot of stuff to run down, minus our guest tonight, but we did want to take this opportunity to give the shout outs where they're deserved. Once again, today is the winner's circle. Funny story. So Todd has the night off tonight, but but he's a huge Indy 500 fan, and I messaged with him last night about the Weenie 500, which is the Wienermobile by Oscar Mayer. If you guys have ever seen a Wienermobile on the highway, it's like a bus-sized hot dog bun shaped thing going 70 miles an hour down the highway, and it is quite a sight to see. But last night was the second annual Weenie 500, and I texted Todd, like, "Did you see this?" And it was a Todd response. He goes, "Yeah, the Chicago dog on the back straightaway was totally blocking people out." Okay, and he followed up with the Brickyard Burger and the Tenderloin's pretty good if you ever go down there. So he got,
Right.
it was such a Todd answer. Anyway, if you didn't catch it, it was a great ending to the Indy 500 and perhaps the Weenie 500 as well. But on the middle school soccer, the checkered flag, to keep the theme, has hit for most of the conferences. The one that still has the white flag going is going to be the NE8. I don't know why most of the schools are out next week, yet for some reason the NE8 is finishing their championship games on this Tuesday. So we'll announce the semifinalists for those.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's late. You can get the CYO who finished, I think, like in December. No, it was like a couple weeks ago. But on the Lutheran side of things, we haven't had many updates from them, but to their credit, they're one of the few conferences they actually post their results online. But I do want to give shout outs to the girls side, because the boys, they don't play in the spring. They actually have all of their middle school seasons in the fall. But on the girls side, Central Lutheran with a 4-1 win over Suburban Bethlehem. And these two teams both went respectively undefeated during the regular seasons. And how does that happen? Well, they drew each other 2-2 in league play. So unfortunately, or fortunately, it came down to those two top teams in the final, with Central Lutheran coming out on top. So congratulations to them and Suburban Bethlehem on their seasons. Then on the NHMLC side of things, those are the schools that feed into, say, Carroll, Homestead, stuff like that. We had our championships. On the boys' side, Lakeview was over Carroll. Woodside's had a fantastic game. I should say season. That's why we're going to have Matt Rogers on today. Unfortunately, he was going to talk about that in depth. What happened there was Woodside over Maple Creek. That was a 0-0 draw after regulation and going to PKs. Is an appropriate team for them to meet because earlier in the season it was a close game. It was 3-1 Woodside over Maple Creek, but came down to PKs. I heard that there was maybe a goalie collision at the very end. Very unfortunate. You don't want to see someone get hurt that maybe took the Maple Creek goalie out of play accidentally, but that'll affect a PK for sure if your goalie is not available. Yeah.
Yes, it will. Yes, it will.
we had a lot of PK discussions with this past fall with high school. What does it mean? Is it appropriate? There's no overtime for PKs on the middle school side of things, but I think maybe the difference is as you get older, it's like most of the PKs you expect to be made, but maybe on the younger side, it's like who's gonna make them, right? Maybe it's more mistake oriented versus make oriented, and on the professional level, it's more make oriented. Unless you're Fort Wayne Football Club, from the Indy 11 game, right?
Oh boy.
Sorry
Yeah.
to bring that up. Yeah, that wasn't great.
Yeah.
Hey, Sean, on your rundown, can you reiterate some of the scores we've already announced because the CYO finished? But if you have that in front of you, can you give us to reiterate the winners on the CYO side of things?
Yes, I can. So in the
And MSAC, I'm sorry. Yeah.
The MSAC. So we have Memorial Park Boys, which I assume are champions, and the Jefferson girls.
They're all champions. Yeah.
Yep. And then CYO girls, St. John won both 5th, 6th, and 7th and 8th. Is that St. John New Haven or St. John the Baptist?
John Baptist, I believe. Yeah.
St. John the Baptist. Oh,
yeah.
Fantastic. Awesome. My parish. Shout out. Okay. And then CYO boys, St. Vincent's, they swept both 5th and 6th and 7th and 8th. So congrats to St. Vincent's and St. John's and Memorial Park boys and Jefferson girls.
Yeah, good shout outs there. And to wrap up, I said about the on the NE8 side of things. I don't know. That's got to be like the longest season. I think their playoffs go
What
really long.
were there like rainouts and stuff this spring? I know we had a lot of rain, and that impacts a lot of middle school games, but that does seem really late. I don't remember it going that late when I was coaching.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think it's been on the schedule. The schedule got updated because I looked at them like I'm trying to kind of message out to people like
Mhm.
what are the results here, and they're like, oh, we don't play. I'm like, yeah, great question. It is really late in the season, in my opinion. But our
Mm.
finalists, that's me Tuesday, is those championships. The boys, we're gonna have DeKalb versus Harding. Now Harding's not a school we've mentioned a whole bunch. I know DeKalb and Leo, and that's just because it's tough to follow these teams. There's not much online. It's mostly what you can get reported to us
Mhm.
by parents
Mm.
who follow these teams. So Harding, apologies if we haven't been following you guys as closely, but sounds like you've had a really good season and you guys made it to the final. So good luck to both DeKalb and Harding when they go head to head this Tuesday. And on the girls' side, Leo versus Indian Springs. I have caught a couple of Leo girls games, strong team. So see what's going to happen there. Hopefully the weather holds out too.
Yeah, right. That could really change things, right? When you wait this long for a
Yeah.
championship game and you get a storm or some rain on Tuesday night, the last week of school, what do you do?
Yeah, for sure. And then final thank you to all the people who have contributed. I said it's really tough to follow these. We had Anzini on a
Mm,
couple of weeks ago. He was super animated about the CYO, which is awesome. But a lot
Mhm.
of these scores is tough to follow. But once again, Jared Hagen and his hooligans, or maybe Hagen's heroes at this point. I don't know if that's a play on Hogan's heroes, but Tony Messman, Craig Buckenbush, Andrew Bigelow, Chris Bauer, Tony Nguyen, and Tommy Wright. So thanks, guys, for keeping us in tune to the middle school scene. Uh,
Yes.
yeah. Any further thoughts? I mean, I know Sean, have you been? You grew up in the area. Like, what was your middle school experience?
Yeah, so I played in the CYO for St. Charles, had some great battles, which always ended up for uh, a decent Dwenger team. They kind of funneled into there. Now I think the talent has diversified pretty well to both Lures and Dwenger, so it's a
Mhm.
really good distribution of talent, which leads to good rivalry there, good rivalry game, Battle of the Bishops. Um, but yeah, I did enjoy it, and it's is one of those where we enjoy playing for our school and we enjoy playing with our friends. And I think
Yeah.
that's a positive boost for and can kind of be a refresh for a player who's maybe we're just like in the club grind or
Mhm.
in the other
Yeah.
grinds. So yeah.
And Zini had a great quote where he said, "You might not be like the starter on my team, but you could be the baller when it comes to your middle school team." And I just love
Yeah.
that. It's
Mhm.
just a different perspective, different experience that you get
Yeah.
with middle school.
And I definitely felt that on a personal level. So I was like, oh cool, I can dribble and shoot and score. And that feels pretty good. So
The,
I
the thing
know.
yeah, go ahead.
I just know our kids loved playing for their middle school, and it was a lot of work. It was a lot of, going from middle school training to your club training, and it's a lot of work. But there's something different about it. Like they had so much fun, playing. There
mhm.
wasn't as much pressure, and
Mhm.
you could try out different positions. You could be the hero on the squad that maybe you weren't on your club team. Like, there's just something different about it. And I know there's always debate, if you're playing club and whatnot, but you've had that conversation on the show. But it is fun giving kids an opportunity to do this and to play for something besides a trophy at the end of the year, right? You're playing for your school, you're playing in front of your friends, you're playing, your family is there. Like it's just
Yeah.
a ton of fun to be part of.
Mhm.
Yeah, agree. So next week we'll get to announce, the final checkered flag for the NE8. I want to get to a couple of comments. I know we don't have a whole bunch left on a
Mhm.
rundown, minus the interview, but we've got a shout out here for Coach Sean from Matt McWilliams. Didn't do well today.
Aw.
Put in the work. I mean, right? That's what we want. Um,
Yeah. I heard they battled hard, and that's awesome.
great. What do we got? What else we got here? Christina, did not like my PK comment. Poor insult. But if you watched the game last night for Fort Wayne Football Club, I think they made up for it. The last couple of games have been exciting.
Can't wait to talk about it tomorrow.
Oh my gosh, you guys need to tune in tomorrow night. There's 2 games to talk about, right?
2 games to talk about. One that was less than exciting and one that was super exciting. So
yep.
The hottest team, one of the hottest teams in all of USL League One right now.
Yeah, true. It'll be fun. We only have, not to get too off topic here with the local side, but it's the local, is if you guys are looking to come out to a Fort Wayne Football Club match, there's one left this month. That's this Saturday on the 30th. And then all of June is off. And then the next home game is going to be July 4th. So if you want to come check out a game soon, it's going to have to be the Saturday. And you're going to have to wait until July to see the next one, which will be the grand opening on July 4th. So
they're still playing. They're just playing away from home.
Way away. Yeah.
The whole thing with South Georgia Tormenta dropping out of the league 13 days before opening kickoff took away our only home game in the month of June.
Yeah. Oh man, it's a league with lots of storylines every
Absolutely.
Day, apparently on the boys and the girls side.
Wild West.
So what else is on your mind, guys? We're like I said, minus the interview, we've had some good topics with the middle school and stuff. Any other thoughts just on Brian, before you came on? I think we were talking just about Memorial Day memories. When I was growing up, we had just mud pit of a tournament locally at my youth, and I don't know if there's anything you can recap.
I mean, not that I remember distinctly. I guess I'm of a certain age that I don't remember everything from my childhood. But no, I do remember we played a lot of soccer, a lot of tournaments on these Labor Day, Memorial Day, holiday weekends, and some were good, some were bad, but I just always enjoyed being out on the field playing, regardless of what the holiday was. And honestly, I forgot what holidays were. I just knew there was a soccer tournament, so we were playing. All my friends were swimming and setting off fireworks, and I was on the soccer field all the time. So which was fine with me. That's where I always preferred to be.
Any thoughts from you, Sean?
That's where I found myself lately, on the pitch, buried in sunscreen and a sun hat, making sure that the
that means more now than ever before, didn't it? Like, you're a kid, like you could be in the sun all day. It stung a little bit.
Okay,
but...
yeah. Let's talk about post 30 coach Sean Black, where he actually checks the weather report before he heads to the field.
The UV index.
Because 20s coach Sean would just be in the pouring rain with no raincoat, just making sure that we're I
seem to remember one of those days.
Yeah, I bet you do, Ryan. I bet you
Halloween
do.
Classic, I think, was one of those.
Oh man.
Anyway,
I now have some rain gear. I check the weather reports, so
it's full on dad now, aren't you?
We're growing up.
Do you feel like is there, when you're coaching and you're young and you love it and you're like, I don't care what the weather is. Like, it's not just you're just not checking the weather report. You're like, I just want to be out there. It doesn't matter. Are you there yet where you're like, I'd rather we just like postpone this game? Like, it's going to be a little cold. The rain is coming. Maybe we could just play this tomorrow. Are you there yet?
Yeah, see a couple cells popping up. I don't know if it's going to happen today, guys. Oh, man. It's been, even like this spring has been nuts. It's been so cold, it's been so rainy, it's been so hot, and it's been so cold, and we haven't had very many cancellations. Like, it's been been fortunate to get most of the spring season in, so that's good.
Good.
Yeah, quite different than most spring seasons, for sure, at least of recent years. So
yeah.
Well, I was going to say, Brian, thanks for joining us on last minute here, and for helping us troubleshoot some technical difficulties. I apologize to the audience. I know we had anticipation of having Matt Rogers join us tonight. Sean, you would
have been so much better than me.
No, it's fun. You plan, and sometimes stuff hits.
It is what it is. It's not the first time it's happened. It's probably not the last time it's happened, but that's why we do this, and that's why we have a team, right? That we can come around each other and help out when necessary. So yeah.
Sean, great to see you, man. Yeah.
Yes, Paul, you too. So good.
You're part of our rotating cast here. It's just I said pinning you down is sometimes tricky, but we're so glad you could join us tonight.
Me too.
Can I jump in with a couple quick announcements before we
please.
end the show? Since I'm here tonight, tomorrow night show on Fort Wayne Footy, we are going to have one on Memorial Day, and it'll be our same 9:00 time slot. We do have 2 games to talk about, like you mentioned. We have the Corpus Christi match. It ended in a 1-1 draw, and then a 3-1 win at AC Boise up in Idaho. It was their first loss on their home turf, by the way. And giving us now a 6-game unbeaten streak in the league, right? So we're not counting the Indy 11 match, but 6-game unbeaten. I was watching the Spokane Velocity and Sarasota Paradise match right before I had to jump on here, and Spokane won that, Spokane won that one, and making them, I believe, another team that's on a 6-game unbeaten streak as well. And that's the team we'll see next at home on the 4th of July. So got that and more to talk about. And then Tuesday, I should be recording another episode of Crest and Colors with David Adams from the Tumbleweed Times, covering AV Alta, who's coming to town on March 30th. So this Saturday, or May 30th, May 30th, this Saturday, AV Alta is coming to town, and we get to talk to David Adams from Tumbleweed Times, who is not a podcaster, but is an excellent writer and covers the team out there in Antelope Valley, California. So it should be a fun one this week.
I love those Crest and Color shows. They're a lot of fun. I think it's a good collaboration. We help them out. They help us out. So it's fun to learn about the other teams and create that community going on. Sean, any final thoughts on your end?
Nope. Just
get some rest.
Yeah, and good luck to all the teams competing in State Cup this weekend and Challenge Cup or President's Cup. You know, go represent Fort Wayne and bring home some state titles.
Yeah, love it.
Yeah.
So, if you're listening, have some news to report or an upcoming match that's happening in Fort Wayne, let us know. Send an email to info@fortwaynefooty.com or leave us a message on Facebook, YouTube, or Instagram. So, thanks for joining us. We appreciate you guys rolling with the punches, rolling with the hiccups, but thanks for joining us, Brian. Thanks for joining us, Sean. Check out Brian tomorrow. Check out Brian on Tuesday. There's, oh my gosh. Brian with the Bane. Inside joke. Anyway, have a great night. We'll see you guys next time.